Hello and welcome to this video on the management of variables and parameters. Variables are used to temporarily store information, and such information can be used in automation process scripts. This video is divided into 4 parts. First, we will learn about the variable types supported by Cyclone RPA Designer. After that, I'll give you a demo on variable management, followed by an introduction of its related functions. Lastly, we will go through the scenarios in which variables and parameters are used. First, let's have a look at the variable types supported by the designer. Commonly, these types are string, number, boolean, array, object, password, date/time, and data table. Apart from those, we also have custom types and Cyclone internal structure types. We'll have a deeper look at these types in the demo. Now, I'll give you a demo on variable management in Cyclone RPA Designer. Create a new project in the designer. We need to open a specific flow to manage the variables in it. Double-click on Main Flow to open it. Click Variable Management to open the Management panel. Click New Variable, then the newly created variable named Variable1 will appear. The name of the variable can be written in either Chinese or English. We can rename it String1. On the right of the name is Type, Detail, and Scope. We only need to change type. Further on the right is the initial value, which can either be empty or specified. For example, we can type the initial value like this. This is an address of a file, a spreadsheet named Orders on disk C. Note that we need to type in 2 backslashes here. This is because we have several escaping rules, and one of them requires that a single backslash need to be typed in as 2 backslashes. Meanwhile, take notice that if there are file names in the expression, the file extension needs to be written as well to avoid errors. Now we create another variable. Change the type to number, and the detail will change accordingly. We don't make changes to the initial value. Create a third variable and change the type to boolean. For boolean type, we need to set an initial value. The default value is true, and we can change it to false. Now we create a fourth variable and change the type into array. After the selection, we need to further specify the internal type of the array, which can be set to string, number, or boolean. Here we choose string. Click OK, then we can check and edit the elements. For example, we can input 3 elements: apple, banana, and coconut. Next, let's create an object variable. The initial value of object variable is slightly different. For example, we can type name in the key section and give the key a value of Helen. We can add an additional key, gender, which is female. Now, let's have a look at custom types. In custom types, we can input a series of variable types based on our needs. Here, we can set up a 2-dimensional array, which is array, array, and string. In addition, Cyclone RPA Designer offers a wide range of internal structure types. Each has its unique function. Next, I'll give you a demo on processing variables. First, let's insert an Open Excel Workbook node. Click Node Library and navigate to Excel, Table Operation. Double-click on Open Excel Workbook to insert it into the flow. Next, we need to configure the node, beginning with the file path. Note the escaping rules when you type in the file path. Then, we need to set the output of the node. We can create the output variable just by typing in the name here and press Shift and Enter. The variable type has already been set. We can also just right-click on the variables to copy, paste, or delete them, or click View to check which node has referenced this variable. The designer also offers to remove unreferenced variables as necessary. Next, let's have a look at the nodes which can help us manage variables. Cyclone RPA Designer offers a series of nodes that can process variables. We can find them under Data Processing, Variable Processing. You can hover your cursor over each one to see what they can do. Let's take round number as example. Double-click to insert it. Create a number variable. Change the name and variable type. Then let's configure the node. In number to be tied, type n and the variable we are looking for appears. In type, we can choose among round, round down, and round up. Specify the decimals to 1. For output, we can create a new variable called result. Lastly, we can give the variable an initial value. Now the round number node has been configured, we need another node to show us the result. Click the plus button and search for Message Box node. Insert the node and set the display content to result variable. Run the process, and we can see the output in the pop-up box. If we change the type to round up and run the process again, we can see the result has changed as well. Lastly, let's learn about the usage scenarios of variables. When we are designing an automated process, there is often the case that multiple flows use the same variable. However, if we add a variable under variable management, we can only use it in the current flow. If we need to input a variable from another flow or output a variable for other flows to use, we need to add these variables as parameters and set the direction to input or output. In this video, we have learned about how to add, manage, and configure variables and parameters in Cyclone RPA Designer. Thanks for watching and see you next time.